Hello there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And welcome to episode 20 of the Holocron-Cast. It's me, your boy, the Jedi Holocron. Tyler is normal, but that's not the important part. The important part is my co-host, the Sith Holocron, Dan. How you doing today, Dan?
Not great, but...
Yeah, you seem very miserable right now.
I'm very under the weather at the moment.
Yeah.
But we gotta get content.
And luckily this isn't a, disease that you can spread.
No, it is not. It's not.
This is just one of your other diseases that you just naturally have.
This is just
one of your many.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a train wreck.
Yeah. Maybe one day, maybe you just won't need a job. So you can just get disability soon and never work, get money. We can do YouTube more.
That.
I would too. Buy work if you have to. When you can watch fiction and talk about it for a living.
Right.
Right. So, big episode this week.
We do.
A lot of stuff going on. And that's not even... We're probably not even going to talk about the Rise of Skywalker novelization bullshit that's going on right now either.
That'll be its own episode.
Right. We need to read that. I think we should read it.
Yeah, probably.
And talk about it. I think we should, from here on out, we need to read all the books when they come out.
Yeah, probably.
So we can be on topics. We can be good Star Wars podcasters / personalities. And then we can do a Let's Play. What's just reading the book.
It's a great Let's Play.
Yeah.
Record it with a cell phone camera.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. Clone Wars.
Episode
2. A Distant Echo.
I don't know why I thought it was 3.
Because you wish Campus 3 this week, and you just can't wait for it. So
3 is this week. That is.
You're thinking about it.
That is true.
I'm excited for episode 3 mainly because I don't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
Is the Bad Batch stuff over? Are we going back to Ahsoka now? What's going to happen?
Well, I don't think they would end the episode where it was if it would just drop there.
Well, I don't know if it's going to drop there immediately, but you know what I mean? Will they start Ahsoka's story now, and then is this one? But they'll probably bleed into each other at one point.
Well, I imagine they'll just wrap this one up with one last episode, and then move on to Coruscant.
Probably. Oh, probably them actually winning this battle.
Yeah,
the full battle, them joining Mace Windu and the troops or whatever.
Yeah, now that they've handled why the Separatists keep outsmarting them.
Yeah. Okay. So overall, I thought since a better way to do these, since these are so short, we should talk about the plot more. So I wrote down all the major plot points. So we're gonna start off. What did you think of the episode? Then we'll just go through the episode and talk about it.
Okay. I really liked it.
Yes.
As always.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than the first episode.
I agree.
I think the first scene of this episode, which we'll get into probably, because that's my favorite scene, the Padme and Anakin scene.
Yeah.
That's the best episode. It was glorious. We'll talk about that, but overall good episode. We got great Anakin Padme stuff. We got great action. Wat Tambor surprised me. Nice little throwback, and then just good stuff.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
I like Rex continually clashing with the Bad Batch.
Right. Crosshairs got up in his grill. He might have lost a little.
He's a very angry guy.
Very angry guy.
Very edgy.
I really like the Bad Batch. Is really becoming. I really like them.
Yeah.
If you ask me my top 10 clones, they're for sure in it already. Mainly because the clones are most there's not a lot of named clones, but also these guys are just really cool. Well,
there are a lot of named ones, but not a lot of named ones that actually do stuff.
Yeah, but
I like the 2 that were with Numa.
I don't remember.
Waxer and Boyle.
You see, I just remember Numa.
Numa has one of their names on her helmet.
That's cool.
Rebels.
I didn't notice that. That's really cool.
In a Rubish.
And then Tech can translate all the languages we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the 501st clones are named, too.
There's the one that cooks.
There's the one that we fought. Those are the ones we followed. The one that cooks?
Yeah, and the R2-D2 arc. The one who abandoned them.
He's 212. He's not 501st, but yes, Gregor.
Oh, what are the clones?
Well, I was talking about 501st.
I was just talking about clones with names.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, your favorite part of the episode?
Probably the same as you.
Yeah. we'll get into that here in a minute. But we were talking about this yesterday briefly, or like when we were hanging out, we were like, what did they say at the beginning? That's like, you know how they have the thing?
Yeah, with Admiral Yularen.
The word was conspiracy. That's like one of his great words. How he's like stranded, and then conspiracy's a great one too.
He always launches it. He'll usually launch an episode with like just one word, and then he'll like give a little.
Yeah, just like episode 3, Carl. War.
Yeah, war.
But yeah, okay. A distant echo. And also, I decided to write down a little thing at the beginning because I don't know. But they put those there for a reason.
The little quotes.
The quote at the beginning of this episode was, "The search for truth begins with belief." Which I think is a very Star Wars thing. Yeah. That's very... And then, like, all rebellions, man, are built on hope. Like, if you want to find truth and stuff, you gotta believe in it, which I think is a good message, especially for the kiddies out there watching this. And...
like us.
Yeah. And then it really, obviously really ties into the episode with Rex and, everything going on with him, but, yeah.
All his shiz. Mm-hmm. So where did the episode started with them re-arriving, correct?
Yeah, they re-arrived.
Because I saw it on Friday, and you rewatched it last night.
Yes. Yeah, it starts out with them arriving back on
the base.
The base, where the fuck that is.
The base on a Nexus.
They regroup, and then it pretty much goes right into the Anakin and Rex. Like, we got to do something.
Oh, I like that little scene between them where he's like, "Oh no, we don't got time for that, General," and then Anakin's like, "No, yes, we do."
Right. Already late as it is.
Already late.
I can just imagine Padme just sitting there like with the things like, "Is he ever gonna fucking show up?" You know. Be like, what's he doing? But yeah, okay, Anakin Padme scene. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. This is a very interesting scene for a lot of reasons. Yeah. Mainly because the reason I love this scene is because it's Anakin being the person to Rex that like Kenobi is to him. Like he's Anakin's being like, oh, you're thinking. What's the words? I wrote down the things. He's like.
Thinking with your emotions.
Yeah, he says, I think his personal feelings are driving him too much on this mission. And the Padme's like, where do you think he learned it from? And it's just so funny to see him
being like the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but like, being the Obi-Wan, but like, being like, it's weird because we're so close to his fall too. Yeah. Where it's like, this is like the most like, he's actually thinking things through, and he's like,
because it doesn't involve like Padme.
Mm-hmm. Right? And, like, this is the shit Kenobi would say to him. It's just so funny that... It's just funny seeing the side of him.
That he thinks it about someone else, yeah.
Yeah. It really truly shows just how much Rex means to him. Yeah. Yeah. And I really like
mean, now that he's lost Ahsoka, Rex is the only part of his, army that's, like, his close friend left.
Yeah. But Kenobi's there.
Yeah. And Kenobi knew exactly what was going down in there.
I love that moment.
I love also that little interaction while Rex is like trying to come up with an excuse. He wants just not buying any of it.
You gotta do better, man. Yeah. He literally says you gotta do better. But yeah, I
hope you said hi to Padme for me.
That's like the most Kenobi line ever too. He's sassing him. And
that's also really interesting.
And Anakin that he knew? Yeah. But to be fair, everybody knew it. Like, Anakin, Ahsoka, Padme, Rex, they all knew. It's not a surprise that Kenobi knew. Kenobi's smarter than he leads on.
Yes, I know, but it's just interesting to think that, like, And
Anakin just looked at him and was like, nope, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna justify that.
I have a very interesting tweet I found about that we're gonna talk about in a minute. But, like, yeah. It was just cool. It's just so interesting, man. I feel like... I don't know.
I like that it's been pretty consistent. They've been in the Outer Rim sieges for quite a long time now. Yeah. So they say that in episode 3 that they've been there for a fucking while. Right. And he went back to Coruscant like while Fives was going crazy. Yeah. And then he's been pretty much in the Outer Rim for the rest of that time since like season 5 almost.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that Padme 2's the one who's, like, giving Anakin, like, just, go with him. Yeah. People have done this with you forever. Go do it. She has a great line of, where is he when you throw caution to the wind? And he's like, Anakin says, by my side. And then Padme says, trust his instincts like he trusts yours. And such a good line.
They have a lot of good bro moments in this episode.
Yeah. Padme and Anakin's, that whole thing, it's just, like, their whole conversation, it's it's incredibly well written and everything. And then, of course, GK, like we said, coming in with the fucking dagger. Like, okay.
Calling him out on that shit.
I want to ask you a question. I'm going to pull this quote from somebody on Twitter. I'm going to give them credit. And I didn't think about this scene in this light.
Okay.
And I want you to... It's really interesting if you think about it. So, more of the Kenobi aspect of this. One sec while I pull up the tweet.
Yes. Well, you find it.
Gotta give this person credit because I'm not going to steal ideas out here, you know? That's not what we about.
Yeah.
It's by Hack plus the Clone Wars spoilers at QOHIS on Twitter. I don't know who he is. I just found it. Gotta give him credit. Just in case. Yeah. No, I was actually looking at Clone Wars stuff. But it says, wait, Obi-Wan mentioned Padme casually to Anakin to try to show him that he knew their secret relationship and to see if Anakin trusted him enough to tell him. But Anakin didn't. Their bond is fracturing. Unbroken. It's really interesting that because, like, you think at this point, because obviously their bond's fracturing. It all leads up to the moment in episode 3. But, like...
It's getting really close.
You think... It's kind of interesting that Ahsoka, Rex, and all these people wouldn't know this, but he doesn't trust Obi-Wan enough still. Is it because he doesn't trust the Council? Well, is it because...
Did Ahsoka know that they were, like, together?
Yeah. Forces of Destiny, remember?
Oh, yeah. Do they say that in Forces of Destiny?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they, like, completely knew that they were actually together. I wasn't sure if they just knew that they were really close.
And then, obviously, Rex knows.
Yeah, with that scene, he has to have known.
But this is really interesting for Kenobi, too, because, like, you think, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan aren't talking as much as they should be, probably, right?
Yeah, probably by this point they're not.
And
it also doesn't help that they're usually probably not on the same planet nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And this is, like, on the heels of... Imagine what Obi-Wan's going through. Like,
right.
He just lost the love of his life, Satine. He sees Anakin growing apart and becoming distant, and, like, their bond becoming fractured, as the guy said on Twitter. And all he wants is Anakin probably to talk to Anakin.
Yeah.
Like...
And trust him.
Like, he just wants to talk to somebody, because probably no one's talked to him about Satine.
No.
Nobody.
No one would. You're not supposed to have feelings of attachment.
Right? And Anakin, at least someone who's going through the same thing, and it's supposed to be your master and your Padawan, like, they were brothers.
Yeah. We
were brothers, Annie. And, like, it's just so heartbreaking, which also only just incredibly makes Obi-Wan such a brilliant person in general, because, like, all the shit he puts up with.
Yeah, he puts up with so much bullshit.
Right.
I also love I think it's in season 6 of Clone Wars, when they're during the Clovis arc. It might have been the previous Clovis arc. I don't remember which one it was. But, like, Obi-Wan and Anakin have a conversation where Obi-Wan's like, you know, you've met Satine. I feel these same things as you. Oh, and he just, like, wants Anakin to talk to him about it, but he just doesn't. Because Anakin is still wary that he would get ratted out, basically.
Mm-hmm. It's so sad.
You know, it's funny, like, I know eventually, yeah, of course he realizes, like, you know, the Jedi Order's not worth this, but man, if he would have just realized it a little bit earlier and would have just left on his own accord, everything would have been
like
happy.
Ahsoka?
Yeah. He would just have to give up his lightsaber, but...
I almost feel like if Clone Wars, the show, came out before Episode 3, and, like, happened... I feel like you could write Anakin differently in Episode 3.
Yeah.
And, like, have, like... obviously you can't, because he becomes Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is the main trilogy, but, like, the idea of him, like, actually realizing how fucked up they are and not turning to the dark side because of it would have been really interesting.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting. But I think it definitely... Obviously, it makes sense that he would fall.
Yeah. Such a...
The world was not on his side.
Right. Oh, Anakin. God.
And then they start their mission after that, right?
Yeah. Who would have thought, after all these years, Anakin would be, like, one of my favorite characters now in Star Wars.
Right.
I used to hate Anakin. But now he's, like, top 20 for sure.
I've always really liked Anakin.
Yeah.
Ever since Episode 3 came out, I've liked Anakin.
No, you're a fanboy since Episode 1. You an angel!
Yeah, you're right.
How are you not a fan of Anakin after that one?
I was more of a Watto fan, personally, growing up.
Yeah. Yes, then we go to Sacco Minor.
Sacco
Skako Minor.
With the weird bird shits.
Which continues this weird idea of Anakin, like, being, like, a general and, like, doing things properly, and, like, he's like, when would you ever be like, Anakin was like, let's do this stealthily?
Yeah.
Because they get to the tower, and they fight the things, of course. But,
they fight the bird things, and then he's like, don't hurt these innocent people, which, yeah, that's what Anakin would do. But, yeah, it's weird when they get to the tower that he would be like...
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, obviously the first thing makes sense, because you gotta...
Anakin's always about protecting the innocents.
Yeah, and you want to make sure... Like, you're not there for them. You're there to just find Echo, and, like...
Yeah.
Those guys
just... find the algorithm.
And then they just disarm everybody there. And,
yeah. I like how the birds go after Anakin, and he drops his lightsaber again. He never learns. This weapon is your life.
Right. Classic Annie. This is just showing that he may be growing a little, but he's not grown yet.
No.
He's making strides as a human being in this episode. Well,
he always loses his fucking lightsaber.
He's always losing that saber. But yeah, and then... Yeah.
They do their little... I like how they have that scene where Tech has to translate everything.
Yeah.
For those weird alien people.
Tech's kind of cool.
That don't speak basic.
No. They ain't really speak that basic shit.
So, I don't quite remember... Like, it's obvious they've explained what Hunter's mutation is. They've explained... and it's obvious what Wrecker's mutation is. I have to assume Crosshair's is just he, like...
Probably has good sight or vision.
Good vision, and he, like,
or hearing,
can hold his breath for a really long time.
Probably.
Or something. Is Tex just he has that galaxy brain?
Has to be.
Like, I have to imagine that's what it is.
Or he just has good technology. Or he's smart. Yeah, he's smart.
He has to have that galaxy brain shit.
Mm-hmm. Big brain.
It's kind of funny. He's got that big brain.
Yeah.
It just makes it funny because he, like, doesn't look like the other clones, but if his mutation is just that he has that big brain energy.
Yeah. His brain changing made his face change, you know?
Which, to be fair, Crosshair has a weird shaped head, too.
Yeah. I really like Crosshair. He's my favorite.
I like his design a lot.
I don't know why. And then that leads to them going on their way to the tower. And then that's where we get Crosshair and Rex getting into beef. Get
some beef going. A little bit of ground beef, it's sizzling.
Mm-hmm. I like this scene a lot too because
I like that the Bad Batch, especially Crosshair, is like kind of like almost racist towards the regular troopers.
He's like, let me read you the line that leads to their fight. I fucking love it. I think this episode's incredibly well written.
Oh yeah,
incredibly well written. He's like, I think you're letting your personal feelings get in the way, getting in the way of this because you left him for dead or something. Not direct quote. I'm paraphrasing most of this. I would have left him for dead too. Besides, he's just another reg.
Oh my god.
And then of course,
it's such that venom, dude.
Rex throws some hands,
and then Wrecker just picks him up.
Yeah, and then Anakin's like, "Hey, we gotta stop this. I need to talk to."
Yeah,
Anakin's like breaking up a fight. What is happening? What's going on with Anakin? Why is he so normal in this episode?
Why is he such a general in this episode?
You can tell his brain. He can tell he's about to fall because this ain't right.
This ain't Annie.
This ain't Annie. No.
If this was earlier Annie, like clone armor Annie, back in those days, I feel like he would have just like punched Wrecker, or just like force grabbed him.
Yeah, it's so. Anakin.
It's so funny to see him being the adult in these instances.
Right. I like it.
Yeah, and then they have their little bro chat.
I don't even remember what they say in their bro chat.
It's like Anakin's like, "Are you gonna be okay if Echo's not actually alive?"
Oh yeah.
He's like, you gotta be prepared. People die.
Yeah, and this is another great line. Then Rex has another really good line there. He's like, not until I heard Echo's voice or whatever have I cared about.
Yeah, because a soldier, it's like
it's soldiers' mentalities. But then I heard him. He's like, I gotta.
If there's a chance,
you gotta.
I gotta believe.
Mm-hmm. Echo's his boy.
You know what they say? They gotta believe.
Yeah. You gotta do what? You gotta believe.
And we've seen so many 501st clone troopers die.
On Rex's watch, no.
I mean, well, a lot of them because he is the captain.
Yeah.
Like, they lose so many people, so, it's gotta get to you eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when they're all your brothers.
Literally. Literally, you look the same.
Yeah.
And you've all lived most of your lives together.
Yeah, all in Camino, just all, being bros and shit.
Right.
Like, that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's a weird... Clones are interesting in that respect, because it's like...
They mix the Republic...
They don't have connections most of the time, but, like obviously, those, like, groups do, like, 501st, like...
Yeah.
But, like...
Or, like, the even more specific, like, Domino Squadron, like, Fives in them.
You built them to be inherently less likely to, like, form attachment and not listen to orders, but obviously puts chips in their head, so you don't have to worry about that. But, like, just the way they're brought up, and, like...
Yeah.
How they live their lives, like, how could they not all be close with each other?
Especially their direct squad mates. Mm-hmm. Like, the people serving right under you, or, like, you're serving someone above you, and you see them go down, like, that kind of makes the Republic kind of seem, like, kind of shitty. Like, the Separatists, they don't have any, lives being wasted as cannon fodder. It's just droids. Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. And they're like, we're breeding these people to die.
God, it is really cruel.
Yeah.
Because they're inherently going to form a bond because you inherently are more related to and more likely to be, like...
You get along
attached to something, too, that resembles you more, and they're literally clones.
Yeah.
Like...
They have similar... Like, yeah, of course, their upbringing and their, like, own little, like, personal tics and flaws in the cloning process make them unique, but... They're, like, almost like identical twins to that extent.
Yeah, they're all going to kill the Jedi together in the end, you know?
All but 3 of them.
Well, I'm sure there's more than the 3.
Yeah, there's probably more. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bad Batch, like, their chips don't work.
Oh, there's no way their chips work. I hope not.
I feel like Tech, especially, if his mutation is big brain energy, I feel like his chip for sure wouldn't work.
Yeah. Heck, I bet they just took the chips out.
Oh, if, like, Tech detected it?
Yeah, potentially. And, like... When they realize how fucked they were, they're like, yeah, now let's take their chip. Or they'd be like, these guys are important for when the time does come.
Maybe Rex warned them.
Maybe.
Because I feel
like... He'll go to next episode.
Rex had to have warned Wolf. That has to be why Wolf doesn't have his chip. And Gregor is because he had a brain injury.
Yeah.
So I feel like Rex could have warned more clones about it. Mm-hmm. I feel like he just didn't warn Cody. A, because Cody's in episode 3. And B, because Cody's very by the books.
And also Cody's the one who gets the transmission.
That's what I mean, but, like, I feel like it's because, like, Cody wouldn't believe him.
Yeah.
Since Cody's so, straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting fun fact? Out of all the clone troopers, Cody is the highest ranked clone.
That's not surprising. He has yellow armor.
That's just the armor of the 212th.
No.
That's Obi-Wan's battalion. The yellow armor.
They have good armor.
It's weird, because he's a clone marshal. Or Commander Marshal or something like that. And that is, like, the highest of the high. Like, there's only, like, 3 of them or something.
Like, so high he sometimes goes to, like, the Senate meetings is like, I have a say,
He's, like, basically, like, tied with Jedi, almost.
That is interesting.
I just find that kind of funny, like,
you think Palpatine was behind that?
Putting Cody in charge?
Yeah, because he's the one who receives the transmission.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he sent transmissions to every, like, commander.
Oh, okay.
Like, it wasn't just, like, the marshals we saw getting the warning. It was, like...
I saw there's the Funko Pop of Cody getting the transmission, so I'm like,
yeah.
He must have been the only one.
Well, there's that whole montage in 3 of Palpatine showing up and telling all these clones.
Yeah.
Like, I really like... They get away with Wolf not being Order 66 because it was a different clone that got the transmission for Plo Koon.
Ah, there you go.
It was just some random guy.
Yeah, so...
Then we see our boy Watt, right?
Yeah, he gets a... Well, that's before this. He gets the call from him and Trench.
He gets the call from Trench.
Yeah, it's just... That happens.
Kind of interesting
Trench,
to see.
Let's get Trench and Galaxy Heroes, please.
Yes, please. I like seeing other Separatist leaders.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's always weird not seeing just Clankas.
Right.
When there's someone who's not a Clanka around.
Even the Clankers that we see in this are different, which I like.
Yeah, they're weird looking. I kind of like them.
They're like...
I think it's because they're the...
I don't think they're meant for combat.
They're Wat Tambor's, like, guilds droids. They're the Techno-Union droids.
Do you think they're meant for combat? But you think they would be with them being the only ones that have
They're security guards.
Yeah. They're probably looking for a very specific type of...
They just aren't the B1s because they're not produced on Geonosis.
Yeah.
These ones are produced wherever the Techno-Union's from.
Okay.
I think the Techno-Union also... I don't know what else they produced.
It's interesting that skipping ahead a little. We'll skip ahead to the tower, but not much happens between then and the tower.
Yes.
Other than the only thing we just talked about. But why... I'm skipping way ahead just real quick since we're speaking about why. It's interesting that he says... He's like... You did exactly what he predicted you would do. Like, and you still got fucked. Like...
It's hard to account for Jedi.
Yeah. And we'll try to beat Jedi, so...
And a clone commando force.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They might have probably thought it was just, like, troopers. Just normal troopers.
Yeah.
Not the Bad Batch and Anakin.
Mm-hmm. But the tower is where Wrecker had his moments to shine.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm afraid of heights, and Mr... And then, of course, Anakin's like, hey, again, let's take it stealthily. There's a stealth mission. Let's just get in, get Echo, get out. Wrecker walks in the first room and just fucking wrecks the fucking place up.
Goes ballistic.
Yeah.
He's got that bloodlust.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He reminds me of Krogan from Mass Effect.
Okay, I don't know who that is. But...
The Watchers will understand. They're like blood...
Like the Watchers from Horizon?
No.
Like them.
They're like bloodthirsty warrior people, and they just love fighting.
Okay.
And that's what Wrecker reminds me of. And they're also really big.
Wrecker just reminds me of any...
Meathead?
Borderlands...
He kind of just reminds
giant guy.
He reminds me of Brick a little bit, yeah.
That's who I think of more. Not as much as the other big guy, Salvador, but Brick.
Well, Salvador's not big.
He's big, but he's short.
He's thick.
Yeah.
He's not big.
He's dummy thick.
He juicy.
Dummy thick, brah. But yeah, and then we get a bunch of fun action scenes for the rest of the episode.
All these weird looking clankas.
Yeah.
Anakin going through stealthy. Room after room.
That room where Anakin's in, those things are so close to him when he's just like...
Yeah, I'm like, he's like panicking. He's like, oh, fuck.
Like, how are you blocking all of these? Well, it didn't seem like they were firing that many bullets.
Well, I mean, it is also Anakin.
Yeah.
It's Anakin, so... He can block pretty much anything except for Dooku.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Anakin.
Oh, Annie.
My boy. And then, we find out that they're getting the transmission to try to like locate Echo, but they can only figure out where the signal's coming from when he's transmitting, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's...
Is he transmitting stuff like in generally, or
I assume it's the algorithm, like battle plans and how to think like a clone.
Because was the transmission they find in the last episode like geared towards them, or did they just happen to find it?
It was. I
don't remember exactly.
It was like searching in a computer. They asked what the identity of this computer is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it wasn't like they found it. Okay.
Yeah. It was. It's not like a conscious effort on part. Going
back a little too, I really appreciate how they just did this mission without anyone's approval. They're like, we need approval from the council. Like, and they're like, okay, fuck it, we're just going.
Obi-Wan shows up to like talk about it,
and they just never talk about it.
Well, he's like, I need the council needs to talk to you about this mission. Anakin's like, yeah, they approve, right? We're on our way.
Well, at least say hi to Pat. I hope you say hi to Padme for me.
Oh, yeah, that's so sad. I didn't think about that. What you said about that tweet.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
It's just Obi-Wan just wants to talk
about They're both going through the same shit, except he hasn't lost Padme yet.
Except Padme's not dead yet. Yeah. Give it a little bit. Or maybe potentially many years based on Vader comic.
Right. Oh, God, I forgot about that.
When's that next issue come out?
No fucking clue.
Okay.
I'll know it when people start writing articles about, oh shit, this happened. It was real
fake. Fair.
But, yeah. Now, the end is just a great fight scene. Once they find the door where Echo's at.
Anakin force pushes like 100 droids.
Yeah, Crosshair does his little slide thing with his gun. I'm like, yeah, he's cool. And then, fucking Hunter goes to town.
Yeah,
his little knife. He's fucking shit up.
Knife. I love their design so much. I love the way their armor looks. They all have unique helmet shapes.
Mm-hmm. They're all unique body shapes.
Yeah. It's funny because Hunter's the one who looks the most like an actual clone.
Yeah, and then Brick's
basically Brick.
What's his name?
Wrecker.
Wrecker is
just yoked,
and then like Crosshair's a stick.
Yeah, the other two are like weirdly their heads are weirdly deformed.
Yeah. And they're skinnier.
Well, I guess Tech isn't deformed so much.
No, Tech's more normal. Closer to normal.
Yeah. Crosshair's the one that's like
lengthy and
he's very
long
lanky.
Head. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess he just has extreme lung capacity. And 40-40 vision.
Yeah. 40-40.
80-80 vision. 40 vision. He has the power of that one character from My Hero. The pink-haired girl.
Sure. Who?
The one you
Gadget
like?
Girl?
Gadget Girl.
The one who beat Ida or whatever his name is?
Her power is just she has sniper scopes for eyes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize she had a quirk. I thought she was just good at teching things up.
No, she had that's why her eyes have the crosshair sign. Because you can just fucking zoom in.
Right.
That's what I imagine Crosshair is. You gotta imagine he's pretty committed if he actually got that crosshair sign on his face.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And his hair's like gray.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Rex's is blonde.
Yeah, but he's a cute boy.
It's blonde and then buzz cut.
See, that is weird. Do you think he dyed it?
I think he bleached it.
He bleached it and then buzzed it? Why?
Because no one else did it, so he had to look unique.
Right.
To be fair, if you're in a room with 1,000 other people that look just like you might want to do something weird to make yourself look unique.
Yeah, that's fair.
There aren't too many blonde clone troopers.
That's why, as a white male, I'm going against the beard. I'm not wrong.
Yeah?
I'm not wrong.
I mean, I guess.
Name a white guy without a beard, Dan.
Me?
No, I'm not. Okay.
I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Shit. But yeah.
I'm not wrong, I'm just an asshole.
Correct. Facts. But yeah, then they find Echo. He's actually alive.
They find Echo, and he's fucked up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's fucked.
He has no limbs.
He had limbs. I don't know if they were functional.
No, they were robot limbs.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
I didn't notice that.
He only had, like, the upper part of his torso and his head. And he has, like, circular things in his head that they latched into. That's fucked.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, another Mass Effect reference. It reminds me of the Mass Effect 2 DLC, Overlord, where they, like, make a guy and turn him into a computer, and it's really fucked up. It's like tubes going down his throat and shit.
No. Echo didn't have it that bad.
No, he didn't have it that bad.
What was he in? Like a cryogenic chamber or something?
He was basically in a cryo chamber.
Or a stasis chamber.
And they had tubes just, like, ripping information out of his brain.
Yeah. And then they found him. They have a little nice conversation there. Echo, he's like, "You're coming home, buddy." And
Echo's probably like, "Man, I really shouldn't have been blown up."
Right.
And then Five's
like, "I shouldn't have left him."
And then who?
Five is probably thinking, "I shouldn't have left him."
Fives.
Rex.
Rest in peace, Fives.
Five's dead?
Yeah, he died.
No. Rest in power.
He was the one who figured out what Order 66 was.
That's why he's dead. Makes sense.
He got shot. Rex had to watch him die.
Who killed him?
Commander Fox, who is Palpatine's little bitch.
He's a clone?
Yeah. He's the most loyal clone, and he just basically sucks Palpatine's dick.
He's not the only one, apparently.
I love how in the Vader comics, some clones mistake Vader for a Jedi, so Vader kills Fox because of it. Because they're like Fox's men, they're the Coruscant Guard.
Okay.
And Fox is like, "Wait, don't fire, he's on our side." And Vader's like, you slipped up once, you're done, and just kills him. Fitting end, because Fox is a cuck.
Yes, he deserves.
He's the one who held Ahsoka in jail, too.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah. So that's the episode.
I like it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I wish they were longer. I want more. I want all the content. I don't know if they have previews for next week's episodes. If not, I don't watch them.
Yeah, I don't either.
But, like, I wonder what do you think is going to happen next week? What do you think the next episode's going to be?
I bet it's retaking Anaxis now that they have Echo, so the Separatists don't have their plans.
Okay.
And can't predict.
So, yeah, I assume this is a 3-episode arc then, and then after this we go to Ahsoka for the last 9?
I assume maybe we'll see Trench again.
Yeah, probably.
See them trying to handle Trench.
We'll probably see him die.
For like the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Remember the first time Trench showed up and he got blown up on his capital ship? And just came back with some robot parts? Is that
why he looks like the way he does now? Or is this the second time coming back? This is being blown up.
No, I think he's only been blown up once, but he has like I I think in the episode where he's introduced, he's renowned for that. Like, he's a cockroach.
Yeah, okay.
He just won't die. Like, because it's like, Admiral Yularen says something like, he went down with his ship in some space battle years ago, and he's just here now. Mm. So that's, like, his thing.
Okay.
He's Sean Connery.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the guy who dies, right?
Sean Connery?
Doesn't he die in every movie he's in? Who's the guy
Sean
that does
Bean.
that? Sean Bean. I don't know.
Sean Connery is James Bond, one of them from back in the day.
Sean Bean, the Hitman 2 target.
Elusive target, yeah.
So I love
Ned
that.
Stark.
Oh yeah.
He's in Lord of the Rings too. I don't know what.
I love when they brought. I think they brought that elusive target back at some point, and we're like, he survived your last assassination.
No way, impossible.
That's his lore in the game. Is that he's died like 100 times.
That's funny. That is really funny.
His name is the Undying.
I am the Undying.
I had the first name right.
Yeah.
That's better than normal for me.
Oh yeah, way better than normal. You're just like, who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Does he look like a... I don't know.
Does he look like a bitch?
Maybe.
But yeah, I think that covers Clone Wars for this week.
Yeah, Clone Wars. It was a good episode.
Great.
I can't wait till Friday. Just kidding, I have to work Friday.
I can't wait till Friday. I don't work.
What are we at, Dan? Time-wise?
36.
36? Okay. We're at... Fuck it.
Yeah?
We're going to talk about Palpatine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't hold it?
I can't hold it. I was... when you said he was sucking Palpatine's dick, I just kept thinking about Palpatine having a child. And I'm like, this Rise of Skywalker, impossible. But, okay. The funniest... Dan, you informed the people what's happening with Palpatine.
In the novelization?
Yes. This is literally from one line of dialogue, too.
Yes, it's from...
It's all pulled from one line.
From what I've seen, unless it's somewhere else in the book and just no one ever shows it when they talk about this, but I've never seen anyone link more than just one line of dialogue.
And literally it's from like the first scene of the movie.
It's from when Kylo sees Palpatine for the first time.
Yeah.
They say that Palpatine's body is a clone in Rise of Skywalker.
That his spirit inhabited.
That his spirit jumped into it.
Thanks. I hate it.
The thing is that...
do you believe this makes things worse?
I don't... The only reason why I would say it would make things worse is that it leaves even more questions than we already fucking had.
Right?
Why? Just don't say anything at that point.
Yeah, it's troubling, to say the least.
It should have had a whole page.
It should have like a whole fucking novel. But you said sucking Palpatine's dick, and I'm like... Made me think, like... Palpatine, if he's a clone, obviously, he had to fucking have a kid before Empire, right?
Well, yeah, the kid would have to be... Rey's dad in the flashbacks looked,
old. So when did Palpatine have a kid?
Probably during the Empire days?
Like before the trilogy ended?
Definitely before Episode 6, yeah. Because Rey's 19 in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And her dad looked decently old enough. So
or did Palpatine even have a kid back in the Clone Wars? When he wasn't ugly.
I don't think it was quite that long ago.
Do you think he...
I think...
do you know when he had a kid? Empire Day.
I was just...
The original. Like, after Empire Order 66 came through, he just got someone, he's like, yeah, got that baby. Nut. He's like, we're gonna have a good knot tonight.
I honestly thought the exact same thing. Like, right as the Empire formed...
Yeah.
He celebrated with his mistress.
Just like if you look at kids born in certain countries after their team has won the World Cup, there's a lot of kids born.
And like how Han and Leia smashed the night after
Endor.
Endor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what you do when you celebrate. You fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, so I'm gonna guess they don't say anything about where this kid comes from in the novel, since I don't see it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, full disclosure, we have not read the novel.
Well, it's not out yet.
True. Then how have people read it?
They've been releasing excerpts from it.
So I wonder if maybe they will say where the kid comes from then. Where his son comes from, maybe?
Maybe? I don't know.
But considering that they gave Palpatine's resurrection one line...
Yeah.
At that point, just don't fucking say anything.
Right? I saw a great tweet at 50,000 likes. It was someone they come from Palpatine as a clone, and someone was just like, who cares anymore? Who gives a fuck? I I've never cared less about how Palpatine came back. I just won't forget it happened. Like, it's just so stupid at this point. It's like, now when they're trying to explain it, it just makes things worse. JJ, thanks for ruining Star Wars. God. Oh my God.
It's really weird.
Like, I don't understand. Why?
So if it's just excerpts, then is there maybe a chance they talk more about it then?
I hope so. Because a cloning makes, like you said, creates more questions. Like, how explain that process?
Yes. Like, I would be okay...
Like, cheating death like Dark Plate, just like you found a way to, like, Horcrux it like Voldemort does or whatever. Like
I think it's a combination.
Just being, it's like they made a clone and somehow his life force found it. But then if that happened, why would he be so condemned to the Exegol? Well, obviously he's not condemned to anywhere because Exegol.
The way it's explained in the book, the way the line made it sound in the book, the one line, is that it made it sound like it either was... The way I interpreted it, obviously since it's all fucking interpretation right now, it's either it was an incomplete process, like it wasn't perfected, or... like something along those lines, or like he's decaying because of it, like
he's making Snoke.
It's an unnatural body.
See,
Snoke was decaying.
It's like they're trying to do both things at once. Oh, he cheated death, but he was a clone, and they were using Snoke's body because he was using them as vessels to stay alive.
They just went full. They went full Dark Empire.
It's like they tried to combine like the two okay theories, like he figured out how to cheat death, and then he like used like he kept inhabiting other people's bodies, like
they
Snoke
tried
or
to
whatever.
Combine them,
but no,
like
you're making Snoke, so obviously that's not true. But if you can make your own bodies, like it's so confusing.
It should have just been Snoke is Palpatine.
It should have just been like Palpatine's like dead.
Like I think it would have been cool if it was like Palpatine inhabited like the Black Ring, and he was like possessing Snoke.
Yeah, or like I like your idea of him being like a wraith on the Death Star.
In the Death Star, and he's just like influencing people.
Yeah, and he influenced Snoke.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. It should have just been.
Yeah, and then they find that and they're like, oh shit. But like still,
you either do that or because Snoke dies in Last Jedi, say like, oh, that didn't go with that plan. Okay, we'll do something else. Just have it be then. Palpatine's the one influencing Ben, and leave Kylo as the final enemy.
Yeah. Dude, the problem is, Dan, do you know why they can't do that?
Because that'd be unique?
Yeah, no. Yes, and because they have to explain why Rey's connected to everybody. All because Rey needs to be somebody. She can't be nobody. It's all because they had to explain that away. Even interesting, more fact. Say all those, we have a lot of good rumors and reason to believe that her being a Palpatine was a very last minute thing, right? So, why bring Palpatine back at all other than for that reason? Like, what's the story if, like, the original story before Disney gets involved that's like, she needs to be a Palpatine? Like, he comes back, why? To explain, obviously...
Because they wanted it to be part of the Skywalker saga.
So they just did it because they thought people would like it.
Yes, and because they were like, oh no, this is the Skywalker saga still.
And they did it poorly.
If you're gonna have, because... And also they didn't want Kylo to be the final enemy, I bet.
Which is fine, but, like, you still ended up killing him, so who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It should have just been... You could still have Palpatine be involved and just have him be a spirit. Have him be influencing stuff.
Or like the Holocrons and Duel of the Fate script. Like, just have him be... His presence can be felt, but, like, he doesn't need to be there.
He doesn't need to be alive. I thought for sure, before the movie came out, that the goal was going to be that he was dead still, and that his goal was to possess Ben.
That's better than what they did.
That was what my theory was initially, because I thought there was no way he survived, and his way of cheating death was incomplete, so he was just a spirit.
Yeah.
And his whole goal was to groom Ben through Snoke. At the time, I wasn't sure what I thought Snoke was at that point, but through some means he groomed Ben to make him powerful and dark, and then would possess him when Ben would sit on the throne. That was my theory initially.
Yeah. That's better than what they did. It's that weird thing, like, by trying to make Palpatine back and make a thing, you literally character assassinated any cool story we could have with Snoke by him making Palpatine. By Palpatine making him, right? Like, where did Snoke come from? Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Palpatine made him.
Also,
like,
to be fair, though, he did kind of just go out like a bitch.
Did he, though?
He wasn't much of a character to begin with, though.
But he could have been.
He was always just, like, discount Emperor, though. I feel like if they would have made him more unique, I would give a shit more.
Yeah.
But Snoke is just discount Palpatine already, so... I don't really care enough. Like, you know? Yeah, sure, he could have had a
If you care, if you find out Palpatine's the one who groomed him and is his apprentice, that's why he's so much like Palpatine, but, like...
Yeah,
and then why he became like, but the fact that I don't think the fact that he died by Kylo's hand makes him a bitch. Especially because Kylo's badass.
I mean, yes, Kylo is a badass, but it's just weird.
And if it was part of Palpatine's plan, it makes sense for him to become because he really wanted Palpatine. He only wanted Ben to be his apprentice.
That'd make Snoke the Dooku of the sequels, where he's just there as a placeholder.
Yeah, which would have been cool and all, but like also like.
I feel
obviously it didn't work either because like once Ben's like Ben wants to find Snoke to find Palpatine or whatever because like he wants to fucking kill him.
Yeah,
which is cool.
But to be fair, Palp figured that his plan was to get him there and then convince him.
Yeah,
he's a snake.
Didn't do a good job of that.
Well, he didn't realize how strong the power of a dyad is either.
Yeah, but also I don't think. I still truly don't know what did Ben truly want.
If Rey wasn't around, I could see Ben siding with Palpatine.
What is okay? So
what does Ben want?
What does Ben want?
He wants the same thing as Anakin. He wants to bring peace, freedom, and justice to the galaxy.
And he wants to do it. And he wants
under a tyrannical rule.
And he wants to do it with Rey.
Yes, ideally, yes. But if he has to do it without her, he wouldn't like it. Yeah. Because he was very adamant that she would join him.
Mm-hmm. So, like, why would Palpatine... Like, I don't see him in any world, him wanting to join Palpatine. I don't think he would ever be able to give him enough where he could...
In a world where Rey's not there, maybe.
Maybe.
Because Palpatine probably didn't account for Rey.
Didn't account for his granddaughter?
Yeah, because it seems very much like she's, like, just like... Palpatine's like, oh, shit, she's still around? Okay.
Episode 9, man.
Adapting the plan to new things introduced... Much like Disney. It just seems weird. The problem is... You know what the biggest problem is?
With The Rise of Skywalker or the whole Palpatine thing in general?
With a lot of the Palpatine thing in general, is that they are so, like, specific in the previous two movies that there are no Sith anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Snoke's not a Sith. Snoke's not a Sith. Kylo's not a Sith. Kylo's not a Sith. Like, they beat you over the head with it so many times, it's like, well, how is Palpatine involved?
Right.
If it was like...
If they laid hints that he was around through those two movies, and like...
If it would have been like, Snoke was like, oh yeah, I used to be a Sith or something like that, then maybe it's like, oh, well, I wonder who he learned from.
Well, technically, Snoke was a Sith, right?
Technically, yes, because he was just Palpatine.
And he was made by Sith cultists.
But it was Palpatine just saying that he wasn't a Sith so that he could not trigger the radar, I assume. Because if the New Republic hears that a Sith is back, then they would probably do something. But if it's just some random guy that, as far as they know, is just a crazy old man, then let him have his first order. Who gives a shit?
Right. The more I think about The Rise of Skywalker, it's more like they're trying to... I don't know what they were trying to do. Were they just trying to make the Last Jedi haters happy at the end of the day? Or were they actually trying to tell a story that made sense?
Well, they weren't...
Or to make people happy. Everybody happy. Literally every single Star Wars fan.
That's what it is.
By doing that, I feel like they single-handedly, literally... Like, we all know they made the least interesting choice with every decision they made.
Just about.
Of the decisions they made. But I feel like every decision they made kind of assassinates another decision that could have been cool.
Yeah.
Like Emperor, the whole Palpatine thing assassinates what Snoke could have been, but you're messing up the Palpatine thing, assassinating And then Ben dying literally assassinates literally the whole point of anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just constantly shooting themselves in the foot for fun.
Yeah.
By trying to tell something cool. Well, I don't even know if they were trying something cool, honestly.
It could have been cool if you made some, like, minor changes. Rey clone, Palpatine Force ghost that's just influencing people. Snoke is either a former apprentice or someone who got corrupted by the Black Ring. That fixes, like, 80% of the issues.
Right, and then you have cool stories you can tell outside of those things.
Yeah, like, who is Snoke? Where did he come from? Why did he get this ring? Why is he dying?
The story
from the looks of it.
The story of Palpatine, like...
Becoming a Wraith.
Becoming a Wraith, controlling it, and then building this final order.
Yeah. But and you would still involve, like... You would obviously probably still involve the cultists as to how the fleet came to be. But it's just they're worshipping a ghost, not a zombie.
This is what happens when you make J.J. Abrams finish an idea and not start one. J.J. Abrams is supremely known for not knowing how to end a story.
Which is always the hardest part, to be fair.
Mainly, do you know how he literally, like, he was a big part of Lost, which is broadly regarded as one of the best shows ever made, but, like, the final seasons are garbage. And, like, they had a lot of problems, but, like, he is famously known for not only starting interesting stories and then either ending them poorly or just walking away and just being like, okay, someone else finish it. And usually when someone else finishes it, it's fucked.
But I also feel like, you know, it's also a lot on Disney's fault, too.
Yeah, I was going to raise the question. Who is responsible for this? Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, the Disney executives like Bob Iger and Alan Horn? Combination of a few of them?
I think it goes in reverse order from how you just listed them. Like,
I would say
my mind's blanking.
Honestly, I would say Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson is the lowest.
Yeah, obviously Rian Johnson.
Then JJ and Kathleen Kennedy are in the same area.
I would put JJ above,
and then the top is Disney.
Yeah, obviously Disney, but I put JJ up there. But I think he was so hold down by Disney. I don't. It's interesting. Kathleen control in this.
I feel like he didn't have that many choices, though.
Yeah.
They were basically holding him down and being like, this is what you're doing!
Especially because we know there's a possible, 3-hour version of this movie out there.
Yeah. I think it's... I blame the executives. Yeah. Personally. Obviously, all three of them are at fault there. JJ, Kathleen...
The only person who is zero fault is Rian Johnson. For making him... It's not... See, honestly, I put the fans before Rian Johnson. For being so butthurt by a movie that you did not enjoy. They're like, we need to fix this.
We need to ruin it for
Honestly,
everyone.
Solo has a lot to do with this, too.
Yeah.
It failing at the box office. Because all they care about is fucking money.
Yeah.
We learned that you virtue signaling cunts fucking Disney. Sorry, I used the C word, I'm sorry. People don't like that word.
I say that word all the time. I've probably said it 100 times while we've been recording fucking without even knowing
Disney,
it.
Man. I hate them.
They just would have made Finn and Poe gay.
Right? There's so many cool things they could have done.
Imagine a storyline. That's the thing that bugs me too. Is that it's so close. Mm-hmm. You change 4 or 5 things and suddenly it's great.
Right. Then it gives you, like I said, more stories to tell that are even cool, interesting.
1, make Finn and Poe gay and together.
2, don't kill Ben.
Don't kill Ben. 3, Palpatine's a Wraith, not alive. 4, Rey's a Force child.
Or a clone.
Either or. And 5, Snoke was just some random guy, or a Force user who found the Black Ring and was possessed. Or influenced.
That's what you do. You'd be like, oh, he got the ring possessed. He was helping build the Final Order with the Sith cultists, also training Kylo.
Yeah. And it's just, and then that, it explains, everything while still leaving everyone happy. You still have Palpatine dead,
because
still
also,
has this influence.
Because, as a Force child, Rey's still nobody.
And you explain her power.
Yeah.
You make everyone happy.
She was made by, the fucking Mortis gods.
Make her like Anakin. That would make everyone happy.
But not made by Palpatine, though.
No, well...
made by, the Mortis gods.
No, but also, Anakin's not confirmed to be made by Palpatine.
Yeah, they're saying that because they don't want backlash.
But it's still not 100% confirmed.
Yes, even though they...
It's believable.
Yes. I don't know.
But it's not confirmed.
But don't have that happen. She literally, I really like the idea of, the Mortis gods making her. And then they have their Final Fighter Mortis like they do in Duel of the Fates.
Or just the universe itself, like they say in Last Jedi. The powers of light and dark have to balance each other out. Anakin was created by the Force to bring the balance back because it was overwhelming light and no dark.
Mm-hmm.
you make Rey for the same purpose, only flipped.
Yeah.
Like, why did they not understand that Force Child was the option? If you want to make everyone happy, that's what you go with!
Right, and that's a good story.
That's what you fucking go with!
And
that's what I don't understand.
Why does Disney think they're so clever? Why is Disney...
No, it's not that they think they're so clever, it's that they think they can make everyone happy.
No. That's why you bought Fox. Make your child content and make your dark content. It's not hard. Fucking Vooch. God. But, like, I'm trying not to care. Dude, honestly, when we finish our Road to Skywalker, in our combined list, and my personal list when we do the final, like, recap one, Rise of Skywalker is on the verge of being, like, for me personally, Phantom Menace, Rise of Skywalker. No, Phantom Menace, Solo, Rise of Skywalker. It's going to go below Revenge of the Sith in my personal list. And I might put Revenge of the Sith above New Hope.
Virtually everything goes below Revenge of the Sith for me.
But, like, it's falling so far on my list now. Like, after we read this book, it might drop another peg. Like, right now I have it 6th. Below Jedi. But I think I'm going to drop it below what it is there. You know what I mean?
Probably A New Hope is the one after that?
Yeah, I can pull it up real quick. I'm not going to read my whole list out, but because we're going to do a whole topic about that, and I'll probably retool it by then, too. It changes. Just like the future, always in motion.
Yes. Always in motion, the future is.
But, yeah, I have it 6 right now. I gotta find my letterbox list. Where's my list? I have 6 lists. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's 6. It might go down to 8th at 11.
Okay. So what 3 would be?
Below it?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, Solo, and Episode 1.
I'm surprised you wouldn't put it below Attack of the Clones.
I love Attack of the Clones, man.
You do. That's what I mean.
But I know that's bad. But I like...
Yeah, that's fair.
And also, like, time will
heal your wounds.
Yes, but also because, like, Rey and Kylo mean so fucking much to me as characters that, like, it sucks to see their story end this way. You know what I mean?
At least Rey has a cool lightsaber.
Yeah, at least she's still alive. But honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if she died. I would have been depressed for about 6 months, which wouldn't be good on top of my 6 months depression I had before that. But, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would have been okay with Ben surviving and her doing it to save Ben, like everything like that. But also, people would have hated that. You know, the woman did it. They would have been all weird about it. The SJWs would have been out in force.
Yeah, but they're
always out in force.
As are the neckbeards.
Yes.
The
and when it comes to SJWs against neckbeards, I'll always be on the SJW side. Just fuck neckbeards.
I refuse to take a side because I hate them both so much.
Yeah.
I would rather die.
Right.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, what I was going to say. I really hate that they did this to Palpatine.
Yes, it just...
Because I love Palpatine so much.
It hurts literally every character. What character does this help?
Because like I if you guys have watched our first episode of the Holocron-Cast, Palpatine is either tied or first for my favorite character in Star Wars.
Yes. And
to see him come back in a way that makes no sense, and for his plan really not to make much sense to begin with anyway, it just really...
Not Palpatine-like.
Really irks me. If he would have
They're going to spend the next decade in books trying to fix this.
If he would have just been dead and influencing from beyond the grave, you still have Ian McDiarmid come in and have like him as like a Force ghost, but like red or something. So you still have him there playing Palpatine. You still have his influence affecting the galaxy, but he's just dead. And he's not Rey's grandpa.
And he never had sex.
Well, I don't know if he never had sex, but he never had a kid.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure in his youth he was banging.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah,
he was 80 in Revenge of the Sith. Remember that. He was fucking like 70 to 80 years old in Revenge of the Sith. Dooku was 90. Either that or Sidious was 60 to 70 and Dooku was 80? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but they're old fucks.
Oh, the old AF.
So how Palpatine has a reasonably young kid post Return of the Jedi.
And the thing that makes it so bad is that there's like him being alive would not be a problem because they explained it enough in lore, but they totally fucked it with how they did it. Like the whole Plagueis angle.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be cool if we saw him instead of Palpatine in this movie.
Yeah.
And then bring him back. Then he's the next bad guy for the sequel, like the next trilogy. Like they have to take down Plagueis because her and Ben together.
Yeah.
Because we don't know enough. Like most of the Plagueis stuff's not canon anymore.
Yes.
So make a new canon where he cheated death and has instead of building the final order or whatever, just continue the story of them trying to Rey and them in their whole relationship or whatever is going on there, trying to pull light and them inevitably coming together or whatever, and the First Order being gone and them becoming one.
I always say that a big problem always goes back to the fact that Snoke was not Plagueis.
But he could have been.
That's how you connect the 3 trilogies perfectly. Because you introduce Palpatine is the main enemy in the end of Return of the Jedi and of Revenge of the Sith and all that. But in Revenge of the Sith, you introduce this character who's Palpatine's master who can cheat death.
Yeah.
And he just never shows up, so it's that's the perfect chance. Oh, now in 7, guess who's back?
Right. And then jump to episode 9. Palpatine cheated death. How? Now he was a clown. What the fuck?
They were just taking the story of Dark Empire.
Because of how fucked that movie is, I've never been more interested in reading that book. The novelization of it.
The Skywalker novelization.
And
it's funny?
People out there are going to get mad at the author. Don't get mad at the author about anything that happens. You think she has control of that shit?
Yeah.
She's just writing a book.
Yeah.
She's not Palpatine was a clone. That wasn't her idea.
I'm sure Disney's hand-holding it.
Not even Disney, the story group at Lucasfilm. They're not going to be yeah, what do you think? Yeah, maybe he was a clone.
It's so weird.
Remember when Star Wars was cool? No, it's still awesome. do you know when Star Wars is going to be cool again? In a few months, a Star Wars Celebration. When we get them High Republic novels.
Yeah.
Segway.
I'm excited for the High Republic.
That's our next and final topic of this podcast. The High Republic. If you remember last week's episode, the announcement was that night of what it was going to be.
Yes, while we were recording.
The big Project Luminous tease while we were recording, but we had to get the Clone Wars review out,
Yes.
So, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
The High Republic. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you want to see it extend beyond books and novels one day?
Yes.
Do you want it to connect to each other and not have Disney fucking get their nose in it? Let Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni and the story group take their shit and get it done?
Yeah, it's hard for me to, just personally, because I don't really read, it's hard for me to get excited about books. Because I don't read.
Yeah. Well, you tell me you're not going to read the High Republic novels?
Oh, I will. It'll just be kind of hard for me because I don't read.
Yeah. I can't wait. We'll be at Star Wars.
I'm really excited about the era. Because
Mm-hmm.
this is exactly what they need right now to get the fuck away from the Skywalker saga.
As far away as possible. They could be farther, but...
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit
farther. They could push
the
era back again 100 years, 200 years.
Yeah, but, to be fair, no one we know will be born for a long time.
Yeah.
Dooku will be born in, 120 years.
Right. The thing I like the most about the High Republic is people want the Old Republic. People are obsessed with that bullshit. We don't know much about the Old Republic. We don't care. We want to care, but canon hasn't given us a reason to care yet.
Yes.
New canon. But I like this idea because I feel like it's the natural progression of the High Republic. Yeah, all the Sith are gone now, so now we're like the Knights of the Round Table. We're trying to build this
And they're also cowboys because they're patrolling the frontier.
Yeah, and they're so they described them as they guard the edges of the Republic because the Republic's so small. They don't want people to
It's not a galactic.
It's not a galactic republic. Yeah, I like that. It's more contained stories. More.
Yeah. I like the sound of the villains of this as well. The
Space
Nils.
Vikings.
Yeah, the Space Vikings, the Nils or Niles or however it's pronounced.
And then we'll have Sith looming in the background.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, probably.
It's exciting, man.
It's interesting to think about, and also I wonder if it's only 200 years because maybe this is where we see Plagueis.
maybe towards the end of the era.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, because also Plagueis is an alien. In old canon, at least.
Yeah.
And Star Wars aliens, they always live for, like, a billion years.
But at this time, there technically should be... there should be... 2 Sith out there.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are, though.
It's only the rule of 2 right now, because this is way after the event we see in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was, like, the last battle between the Jedi and the Sith of the Old Republic. And Darth Bane survived and made the rule of 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure... the thing is I'm sure they're going to go to Old Republic sooner or later.
Eventually, yeah.
For the people who want that really bad. Because obviously they've set it up with, like, Rebels and stuff. Like, seeing these old runes and hearing about all this old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they're going back there eventually.
Yeah.
It's just now they're exploring something actually, like, new. Because I don't think this is a thing from Legends.
No, this is something they created, I think, which is awesome.
Because I believe in Legends that era is just, like, kind of empty between the Old Republic and Episode 1. I could be wrong. But as far as I remember, that era is pretty empty in Legends.
Yeah, like, you tell me you don't want to know more about these guys?
Oh, there's the Niles?
These are just 2 people of them. I don't know who they are, but just look at them. Don't you want to know more
like
about
villains.
them? Yeah. What's the time?
Hour 06.
Okay. Right, remember that, so we can throw this picture up.
God.
If we've learned anything from our YouTube comments lately, it'd be nice to throw pictures up.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that.
We're going to try to.
Yes. But yeah, so...
I'll text you that time code.
Yeah. And I'll text you the picture. But, yeah, so... The first book comes out August 25th, which is 2 days before Star Wars Celebration. Which will be kind of great.
Yeah.
Right? We'll probably get a lot of hype there and be like reasons to get into it. Which will probably be... we probably won't be able to talk about it on our channel for a few weeks then after that.
Yeah, probably.
Because we're not going to read it at Star Wars Celebration, probably.
No.
We're too busy bringing you content live from the floor. Probably not. But we'll be doing recaps at night. Yeah. But yeah.
You kidding me? We'll be recording some stuff over there.
So here are some of the things we're getting. One of the books is called Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Yeah, Claudia Gray, I'm sold. That's all I need. Lost Stars, Bloodlines, I think.
Yeah, isn't it they're all people who have written for Star Wars before?
Yeah, she's like easily rounded as the best Star Wars author. Claudia Gray. This one looks cool. A Test of Courage. It's more of a kids geared for teens and stuff, but I think it just looks cool. It kind of looks and everything, and
oh hey,
she kind of looks like
it has the droid on the cover there. He's in an episode of the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he's the droid that the Jedi used to help build their lightsabers since the days of the Old Republic. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. I like seeing him there.
Test of Courage. We're just gonna throw all these photos up, and then. This is a comic called Star Wars High Republic Adventures. This one looks very more fantasy elements, like D&D fantasy, like that kind of fantasy. He looks very elven, and she I'm just excited for this era, the old the Knights of the Old Republic shit, not Old Republic, Knights of the Round Table, the King Arthur stories. And then the first book, and then this one was the one we talked about earlier, we just mentioned. Don't you want to know those guys? That's another comic, and all these come out this year, but this one, man, this is the first one by Charles Soule, Light of the Jedi. The Chewbacca guy, dude.
The
Wookiee, fucking, dude, Jedi. I've been clamoring for this since Clone Wars.
Right.
And then look, he has a crossguard. Their lightsabers have they're swords, but they're not Kylo swords.
Yeah, they have physical crossguards.
They're physical crossguards. It's
only his does, it looks like.
Yeah, but they're showing other pictures here. I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
This picture, look. They have all crossguards.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Of them, yeah. That's another thing that makes me excited about it. I love how I feel bad now because I'm we need to get this uploaded like right after this. I'm like, I just gave you a bunch of pictures to edit in.
Ah, shit! I forgot about that.
But I have them all right here. And we all know the time code, so it'll be easy.
But
yeah. Oh no, but I'm excited for tons of Jedi again.
Yeah.
The only problem is I'm worried about I get they're space Vikings, but will they have like Force abilities since they're not Sith? Will we have cool battles with like weapons since they're not Sith?
I feel like they might have the Force, but not lightsabers.
But they'll have weapons that lightsabers can't break, so we'll have cool battles, right?
Yeah, like Praetorian Guards, potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, the leaders will have lightsabers or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But they're not Sith.
They're new, so it's hard to say what they would
That's what I'm only concerned about, because they said they want... Because they had the storyboards that came out of, like... Not storyboards, but, like... Concept. A whiteboard of, like, things they want to see. And, like, one of them was dinosaurs, which is hilarious. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
And then, like...
Coleman Trepper.
And then, like, one was, like, lightsaber fights, and they had a lot of cool things, but, like... We need more... That's the thing that's been missing in the last 5 years of Star Wars, lightsaber fights.
Yeah. Big thing that I really want is, I really hope that these books do really well so that they produce, like, a TV show or movies or...
But doesn't that... That's the one... Like, yes. Absolutely. 100%. But then I get concerned of them not following the books closely enough or, like, connecting to the books enough or Disney getting their hand involved too much and be like, no, we need to...
I feel like if the books are what started it, though, then you kind of don't really have much else of a choice.
That's why we're going to read all these books, we're going to buy them, we're going to support them because we want it.
Yes.
If they're good, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, this era is...
I'm sure some will be better than others, and some will be not geared quite towards us.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
The first one, Light of the Jedi, August 25th. Star Wars Celebration. And then literally one every month.
Damn.
Or like comic 1 month, book 1 month. The thing that's going to keep Star Wars like content alive this year for the most part, other than Clone Wars now and Mandalorian later, is going to be the books and the comics.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
This is the year we deep dive into that shit for sure.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
Yeah.
We're going to run a Star Wars podcast.
We're going to run out of stuff to talk about if we don't.
Right. But I also want to start doing like topics that like don't have anything to do with the news and like where we just like rank stuff and talk about like big ideas and
yeah, for sure. Or like theorize.
Like obviously we're gonna do our top 50 characters episodes. Obviously that could be 2 episodes. We each do one of our lists one time and discuss them and just deep dive and then like well we shouldn't. We don't need to talk about. You guys don't care. You'll see it when it happens. If you give us ideas, please.
If you'd like to give us ideas, like and subscribe.
Yes, leave in the comments below.
Yeah. I'm in pain.
Yeah, okay.
So I think we should be wrapping up soon.
Let's wrap it up. We're excited. We'll obviously talk more about High Republic as we get more information, too.
Yeah, for sure. There's not too much about it to talk about right now.
Yeah.
Also, I saw, I think it was an article, I don't know where it was from, but they said Star Wars is going to get their first Wookiee Jedi. What about Gungi?
Right. Wait, someone said that?
I saw someone post about it on Reddit.
Oh, we've had him. His name's Gungi. He's the man.
Gungi. He's a legend.
His hilt was wooden.
Yeah.
He's the Lord. He's the man.
What an absolute pussy slayer.
Oh, baby.
Do you think he survived?
Probably not. His lightsaber's made of wood.
Fallen Order 2, it's about Gungi.
Oh, that'd be hot. I want it.
It'd be kind of an interesting concept.
Or like he finds Gungi.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But yeah. I think that wraps it up.
Me too.
So next week, Clone Wars, baby. We'll be back with more stuff to talk about.
Hopefully I'm not sick next week.
Hopefully you're alive next week.
Hopefully.
You walking disease, you. Until next time, like our tweets if you want. Like the YouTube video. Subscribe. Follow us. Tweet at us. Comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. And
tell us how many more Rise of Skywalker rants you want out of Tyler.
Yes. I try to be positive about Star Wars as much as I can, but I just can't anymore with Rise of Skywalker and Disney and their virtue signaling. I'm looking at you, Mulan. Lizzie McGuire's TV reboot.
Yes.
And the Love, Simon TV show. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So until next time, Moomin Rider.